Right now, we're learning more about the financial impact the coronavirus pandemic is taking on rural hospitals.
Plus, new guidelines from the CDC now say you should be socially distancing from your pets. We'll tell you why.
And a nice sunrise is underway this morning. I'll tell you what you can expect for the rest of the day in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday, April 30th, final day of the month, almost the weekend. I'm Josh Brighter.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Lynchide. Chris Stanford is off this morning. He's off for the rest of the week, taking a long weekend to get all of his moving done. He'll be back with us on Monday. We have a lot to get to this morning, though. First, health officials at UW Health are reaching out to the community, reminding people that its clinics and hospitals are still safe places to get care. They say as they move forward with addressing more patients' health care needs in the coming days, they want them to be aware of the changes they'll see when they return. That includes all patients and employees getting their temperatures taken before their shift or visit. Patients, staff, and any visitors also have to wear masks. And as a reminder, all COVID-19 patients are isolated away from the general population.
Right now, SSM Health is protecting patients and staff with curbside COVID-19 screening as they enter clinics. You'll follow cones to workers out front who conduct a screening process to determine which entryway should be used. Once screened, all patients and staff have their temperatures taken. It limits contact between possible coronavirus patients and other patients. You are still recommended to wear face coverings and call ahead before heading into the clinic.
New this morning, some hospitals across the state are slowly opening to elective procedures, but numbers show their profit margins aren't necessarily ready for a crisis like this one. The full impact of the pandemic on rural hospitals is largely still unknown. Tim Size has been working for the Rural Wisconsin Health Cooperative for 40 years now. He says all hospitals in our state are in trouble.
We have a fair number of rural hospitals in our state who have been running negative operating margins statewide. I'd be very happy if we get through this period without any closures. It's hard to imagine there won't be some.
For about 6 weeks, hospitals across the state have lost up to 60% of the revenue that's normally brought in by elective procedures. Two pieces of federal legislation designated a total of $175 billion in hospital funding relief. $10 billion is targeted for rural hospitals. So far, that funding that's been sent to Wisconsin hospitals has been roughly equivalent to 2 weeks' worth of lost revenue.
Another problem plaguing Wisconsin hospitals is a lack of ICU beds. There are 34 counties across the state that have 0 right now. Out of those is Adams County, which has the highest percentage of at-risk people at about 37% of its population. Gunderson Mountain View Hospital says in a normal month they send about 30 patients to other hospitals for ICU care. They say they do now have an agreement in place to send patients with coronavirus to another hospital's ICU if need be, but for now they have only had 1 case and it did not require that. The Wisconsin National Guard will be setting up additional COVID-19 testing sites across the state. 11 teams made up of more than 300 soldiers and airmen have been establishing mobile testing sites at locations ranging from correctional facilities and health clinics to private businesses and community-based testing sites. Just this week, a team tested more than 1,000 staff and inmates at the Dane County Jail.
Sauk County now has a drive-through testing site set up at the landfill on Evergreen Lane. Officials say in order to get tested, you need to have proof that you're a Sauk County resident and you're showing symptoms. You will get your results about 48 hours later. Residents can make an appointment for a test by calling the number at the bottom of your screen. It's the Sauk COVID hotline. It's 608-355-3200.
As testing capabilities continue to expand this morning, the State Department of Health Services says there are more than 230 new cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin over the last day. The department says it is also investigating a total of 187 outbreaks in facilities across the state. More than half of those are in long-term care facilities and about a third are in workplaces. DHS says so far about 49% of people who tested positive have recovered.
The CDC is out with some new social distancing guidelines for humans and their pets. They advise you keep your cats indoors, don't let pets interact with other people or animals outside your home, and avoid dog parks and public spaces. If someone in your household tests positive for COVID-19, there are precautions you can take to protect your pet.
Limiting contact with them, refraining from kissing them or allowing them to lick you or lick your face, as well as avoiding sharing food. And then, of course, hand hygiene is the most important thing.
So far, a handful of cats and dogs have tested positive. There's currently no evidence that COVID-19 can be transmitted from a pet to a human.
6:04 right now, and we're in the weather center with Hattie, and finally we made it through a couple of dreary days. I feel like this week's been dragging.
Yeah, we certainly have. The worst part of the week is over weather-wise, and now we're just going up from here. Still dealing with windy conditions through the day today. Those strong winds yesterday still, for the most part, intact here across southern Wisconsin. They'll diminish tonight. We are on track for 70s this weekend, though, and it will be a little cooler than next week. So enjoy those warm temperatures that we have in the forecast this weekend. Here's a look at 48-hour precipitation, and boy, it hasn't been very wet here in Madison. Less than a half an inch in the last 2 days. But if I move out of the way, you can see that along the lakeshore counties, they've received anywhere from 2 to almost 4 inches of rain in the last couple of days. Dealing with some major flooding issues for southeastern Wisconsin due to that rain. You can see the rain still falling, although it is starting to weaken and slowly make its way towards the east. So eventually these showers will come to an end for southeastern Wisconsin by mid to late morning. Not a whole lot happening on the radar map then to the north and west. Things are pretty quiet across the northern plains. We have several dry days of quiet weather in store for us. No clouds in the region either, so we're looking at a lot of sunshine through the area today. Take a look at temperatures. If you're looking for cold air behind this system, well, it's really just not on the map, with the exception of International Falls at 24 degrees. Most of the rest of the area in the 40s this morning, so not a lot of terribly cold air coming in behind this system. Here in southern Wisconsin, we're starting off in the 40s as well. In Madison, it's 45 degrees. Watertown checks in with 45 as well. 46 in Lone Rock, and if you're just waking up in Platteville, it's 45 there. Our temperatures will climb steadily through the day. Future Track has a great handle on this particular forecast. It shows you the clouds and the rain already just in far southeastern Wisconsin. Through the rest of the afternoon and the morning hours, rather, we have clear skies, northerly winds, and warming temperatures. By lunchtime, we'll be in the upper 50s. Most of us should see highs in the 60s today by 5 p.m. Again, those winds will start to diminish later on this afternoon into this evening. That'll set us up for a little bit of a cooler night. Our temperatures will climb from there, though. After starting out in the upper 30s tomorrow, we're headed to a high of 67 on Friday. Just slight chances for rain over the next couple of days, most of them occurring at night. Look at those 70s. We'll have tunnel vision for that weekend forecast Saturday and Sunday in the 70s.
I'm gonna have to break out the sunscreen, I think.
What's
I think
that?
so.
Right?
It's been a while.
It's about time. Thank you, Hattie.
6:07 now. The coronavirus is changing how and where students go to college, and the University of Wisconsin is no exception.
Christina Laurie joins us live to explain how it's impacting the class of 2024 so far. Good morning, Christina.
Hi, Josh and Leah. Tomorrow is typically the deadline for incoming freshmen to accept a spot at the University of Wisconsin. School administrators say they've always been willing to give students with extenuating circumstances an extension, but this year, all students will automatically receive one. Students now have until June 1st to accept their offers for the fall semester, and that's just one of the changes happening at the university. According to Greg Bump, who works for the chancellor's office, Bump tells me many students have already made up their minds and are making deposits for the fall semester, but he says it'll still be a few more weeks until we'll know what the class of 2024 will really look like. Right now, there's a nationwide trend among first-year college students to stay closer to home, according to a study in the Chronicle of Higher Education. I asked Bump if we can expect the number of in-state students to increase here at the UW as a result of that. He says while that hasn't happened yet, Wisconsin already has a commitment to admit and enroll 5,200 new in-state undergrads every year. That's about half of each year's freshman incoming class. As far as international students go, I'll explain how the virus is affecting them, how it's changing the way new students will tour the school as well. Those are both ahead at 5:30.
Really interesting conversation. Christina Laurie, thank you.
So schools may be closed for the rest of the year, but one elementary school student isn't letting that stop him from meeting his year-end goal.
This is pretty inspiring. What started on the schoolyard is now moving to the sidewalk for 8-year-old Willem DeCleen. He used to spend his time running at recess, and when his teacher noticed, she challenged him to run 100 miles before the end of the year. But Willem finished that goal by Christmas, so now he's doubled it to 200, and nothing, not even canceled classes, are going to stop him. Willem is still running in his neighborhood, and his teacher is helping to keep track of his distance while staying socially distant.
I did communicate with Willem and his friend and said, go ahead, guys, keep running if you want to. I will still keep track of it for you. And Willem took up that challenge, and he's on target to make it to 200 miles.
Willem has just a few weeks left in his running. His parents say he's not only focused on his own goal, but he's been encouraging his fellow classmates to continue their own goals as well.
Look at him. He's a quick little guy.
You know, I'm reading a book right now on ultra runners, and that's how many miles they run. It's like 150 to 200. He's going to run 200 miles.
It's kind of awesome, and I think it's smart to start off at a young age like that, too, because I think you're more likely to want to stay fit and be active as you get older. I know a lot of us right now are struggling just because there's a lot of couch time, but...
Yeah, I'm ready to get off my butt and get running. Willem, you've inspired us. Congrats.
Let's do it. All right, right now it is 6:10. It's a car wash forecast. It is back, folks. It's been a while since we've been able to do this. Hattie's giving us the green light over the next few days, so it is time to get it done. Plus, the governor's opening up a lot of the car washes, too, so it's good timing as far as our forecast goes over the next couple of days. A few slowdowns near downtown this morning, especially along East Washington Avenue. We have seen a few backups along John Nolan Drive as well. The rest of Dane County so far looking good this morning. No problems as you head out the door. There's your drive times, 26 minutes from Janesville to the Beltline. Average speed around 69 miles an hour on the interstate. 16 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton and about 9 minutes from Sun Prairie to downtown. You will notice the wind out there this morning. I definitely had to hold on to the wheel a little tighter this morning on my drive-in. That wind's a little nasty.
Super windy out there.
Yeah, keep that in mind. All right, still ahead for us on this Thursday. We're following a developing story as police in New York find more than 70 bodies stored in the back of 2 trucks.
And we'll tell you when you could see a treatment for coronavirus with emergency approval for a drug on the horizon. Stay with us. We're back after a quick break.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? A cool breeze on a scorching day, a cozy corner on a cold night, or knowing every room of the house is as inviting as the next. Comfort means more than just the temperature, and the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable, like cool cash rebates of up to $1,650. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For all your heating and cooling needs,
call us at Modern Heating and Cooling or Bethke Heating and Air Conditioning in Verona.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Many of you still need to be on the road right now. Toyota is here to help.
We're offering an incredible 0% on our most popular Toyotas. That's 0% on Camry, 0% on RAV4, or 0% on Tacoma. Plus, Toyota will defer your payments for up to 90 days. And if you need service for your current vehicle, our service centers remain open.
We're here for you. Contact your local Toyota dealer to see how they can help. Toyota.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Comfortable with the innovative MyRide suspension system and high-back suspension seats. Powerful with commercial-grade engines. Heavy-duty, built to tackle tough terrain while providing Toro's professional quality of cut. Versatile, so you can get more done on or off the mower. Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Count on it.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
When you think of a bank, you think of people in a place. But when you have the Chase mobile app, your bank can be virtually any place. So when you get a check, you can deposit it from here. And you can see your transactions and check your balance from here. You can save for an emergency from here. Or pay bills from here. So when someone asks you, where's your bank? You can tell them, here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Because if you download and use the Chase mobile app, your bank is virtually any place. Visit chase.com/mobile.
In these uncertain times, it has never been more important to maintain a clean home or business. We are prepared to get your space back to clean and healthy again. We've added a new EPA-registered cleaner that disinfects hard surfaces and deep cleans carpet, rugs, and upholstery. Remember, we disinfect our equipment after every job and disinfect our vehicles daily. We believe in doing things the right way. That's why we've been your trusted partner in clean for over 70 years.
Developing now out of New York this morning, police say they found more than 70 bodies in the back of 2 trucks outside of a funeral home. One official responding to the case tells the New York Times the funeral home was storing bodies in a U-Haul rental and semi-truck trailer after their freezer stopped working properly. The president of the Brooklyn borough says the semi-trailer appeared to be completely full of bodies and the U-Haul was being used as a backup. Residents in that neighborhood say they had been complaining to police for weeks about the smell.
The Navy says it will be taking a deeper look into the coronavirus outbreak aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. The acting secretary says it's needed after the commander of the ship, Captain Brett Crozier, was removed for sounding the alarm on the virus. An anonymous U.S. official tells Reuters the investigation should take about a month to complete, and it could lead to Crozier's reinstatement. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says it will use the Defense Production Act to help boost COVID-19 testing around the country. The Defense Department plans to boost production of testing swabs specifically. Puritan Medical Products has been awarded a $75.5 million contract to double its swab production. The Pentagon says it expects the company to produce 40 million swabs every month, starting next month with the current instead of the current 20 million.
The National Institute of Health says it will hold a contest to help them find new technology that will expand testing capabilities for the coronavirus. According to The Hill, the NIH will operate the program like the TV show Shark Tank, where entrepreneurs will pitch their ideas to a panel of judges who will then decide if they want to invest. $500 million from the most recent stimulus package will be used in funding for this project. The NIH says its goal is to make millions of accurate and easy-to-use test kits on a weekly basis by the end of this summer.
We could see emergency approval of a treatment for coronavirus as soon as today. Dr. Anthony Fauci says remdesivir, a drug originally created to treat Ebola, appears to be reducing the length of symptoms and risk of mortality. Patients in the trial recovered from the virus on an average of 11 days, compared to the typical 15. Fauci also says the drug is important proof that the virus can, in fact, be blocked by drugs. The maker of the remdesivir says once the FDA approves it, it'll work to make it available to patients as quickly as possible.
Coming up on 6:17, some promising sights behind Hattie this morning. Some sunlight after a couple of days just it was not fun the last couple of days.
Couldn't get any cloudier around here in southern Wisconsin, but this is a nice shot this morning from our Edgewater sky camera showing you the clouds in the distance. They're moving away from us. Skies are clear overhead this morning. Take a look at what's happening across the region. Weather track showing you that we still have some rain for far southeastern Wisconsin right along the lakeshore, but for most of our viewing area, skies have actually cleared. A look at our winds. Winds are still going to be a huge factor in the forecast today. They increased yesterday and stayed strong all night. We're dealing with a northwest wind around 20 miles an hour this morning right into the afternoon, 20 to 25 miles an hour. After 5 o'clock, though, some encouraging news. You see those wind speeds come down. Our winds should diminish by tonight. Here's a look at your day planner temperatures. It's going to be windy all day, but at least we have the sunshine and warmer temperatures. We should be in the low to mid 60s later on this afternoon.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Investors from top U.S. companies say they are watching sales improve in China as a possible sign of recovery from the current economic slump. Recent reports from blue chip firms shows encouraging signs of improvement, providing cautious optimism to economists and investors. Companies like Levi Strauss Jeans and Snap-on Tools say they are starting to see sales go up once again, especially in China at both physical and online retail locations. However, those numbers may not be reflective of improvements here in the U.S. Investors say numbers from China must be taken with a grain of salt as official economic numbers for China come exclusively through their government. New coronavirus tracking tools from Apple and Google are now in the hands of public health organizations to help develop applications that are set to be launched in May. According to Bloomberg News, that application will use Bluetooth technology to determine if you have come in contact with someone who has tested positive for the virus and will notify you for possible exposure. The app will be supported on all iPhones released in the last 4 years and all devices operating on the Android 6 system.
Toy maker Mattel is launching a new line of toys that will honor and support those on the front lines of the pandemic. These action figures will be available for pre-order starting at the end of the month. They include 16 different figures that honor, quote, the individuals leading the fight against COVID-19, as well as the everyday heroes who are keeping our communities up and running. Each toy will sell for $20, with 70% of the proceeds going toward the first responders benefit.
That is so cool. Some of Sesame Street's most beloved characters, including my favorite guy right there, are appearing in new videos to help kids and parents cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. The Sesame Workshops Caring for Each Other videos tackle a variety of subjects like how to cope with missing friends and loved ones and information about healthy snacks and face coverings. They're available right now on YouTube.
Your favorite would be the Cookie Monster.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
We did need a laugh this morning. Thanks for that, Josh.
And I could use a cookie, too, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
All right, 20 minutes past 6 o'clock and still ahead for us on this Thursday. We've got the winners for today's Safe at Home Challenge. Plus, we'll tell you what we're asking of you for tomorrow.
And in our next half hour, we're learning more about the more than 180 facilities here in our state that are connected to an outbreak of coronavirus. Stay with us. We're back after the break.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
Deere season is on now at Sloan Implement. Get a John Deere and your super size Sloan deal. Get 0% for 84 months or $155 per month on a John Deere 1025R. Get a John Deere now during deer season and
the way you get through hard times is to hold strong to your values. At Group Health Cooperative, our common values have sustained us for over 4 decades. Now is no different. We are here in our clinics, but we want you to be safer at home. That's why GHC has more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
At Gobin Cars, your safety is our #1 priority. We are taking necessary precautions to clean and sanitize all of our vehicles and facilities. With prices being at an all-time low, we are able to sell these cars well below market value. So hurry in today and take advantage of these once-in-a-lifetime low prices. Call to schedule an appointment and ask for Crystal the Pistol Gobin. Go to Gobin Cars East or West.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Help is what we've always given. So thank you to our helpers at BMO and beyond. Thank you to the healers, the fighters, the all-nighters, the cleaners, the movers, the 18-wheelers. Thank you to the farmers, the grocers, the above and beyonders. Thank you to all the frontliners for keeping our lives moving when the world needs to stop.
We here at Brothers Maine wanted to check in with everyone in the light of the COVID-19 epidemic. We're going to do everything we can here at our store to make sure everything's clean, disinfected, and ready for customers to come in and shop with us. Not only can we come to your house and set up the products as we normally would, but we're also going to be offering a free drop-off service in Dane and Rock County. There's nothing more important to our company than making sure that our employees and our customers are safe and healthy.
During times like these, it's important to stay connected.
The new normal isn't normal at all.
But just because we're apart
doesn't mean we're alone.
We can reach out to old friends.
Remind our family that we love them.
Stay on top of business, even if it isn't business as usual.
Because we are resilient.
No matter how much distance is between us, we will never let you lose your connection.
US Cellular has a network you can count on, which means you can do anything, even make a commercial. US Cellular.
Deer season is on now at Sloan Implement. Get a John Deere and your super size Sloan deal. Get 0% for 84 months or $155 per month on a John Deere 1025R. Get a John Deere now during deer season and
Welcome back. It's time to take a look at some of our entries for yesterday's Safe at Home Challenge. Remember, we asked you to have some fun and show us your quarantine hair. Here are just a few of our favorites.
So I think we gotta go forward. This is out of order. This is our first guy, one of our runners up here. If we could move the prompter forward a little bit. It should be Janet first. But we've got another runner up here. This one was sent with us. This is the Jurassic mullet, combining it with some unique facial hair there.
Live TV, folks.
Live TV.
Okay, we did have another runner-up. We have to give her a shout-out. Her name is Janet, and she had a great, great hairstyle.
I don't know. Can we go back to that? Is that possible? If anything. Oh, we don't have it, I guess.
All right, well, that's okay. Here's today's winner. This is absolutely adorable. Hannah says her daughter wanted to cheer everybody up with this picture. She calls it "Her COVID Hair Don't Care" and says everybody should be wearing a mask, including the little face on her hair tie. Don't miss that.
I see, like, I missed that the first time I looked at this. I was looking at the color of her hair.
Very, very clever. Congrats to this young woman. You are going to be receiving a gift card to a local business. And for our next challenge, they say April showers bring May flowers. So with this week's rain in tomorrow marking the start of May, we want to see what your best flower arrangement is, whether it's part of a May Day basket or just something you put together to brighten your day.
We've got a cute little one out here this morning.
We do. It's slowly dying, so it's becoming really, really fragrant. But it's beautiful.
Look at that. It kind of matches us a little bit. Yeah, the colors are nice.
I'm a big lilac fan. I've always really loved the smell of lilac, so this is great.
I always love the tulips that are like popping up near the Capitol this time of the year. I know a lot of people are on tulip watch. Get a little color in there. But yeah, this will be a good one to see. Perfect time for May, too.
Yeah. Be sure to head over to our website, channel3000.com/safeathome to send in your submissions.
And we should be seeing some more color out there, Hads, with the increased sunshine over the next couple of days.
We certainly should after all of that rain that we've had, and now things are going to warm up. Wanted to get in our pet walk picture, though. This is Dudley in Partyville. This kind of sums up every morning for us, right, guys? Hard to get out of bed. 1 foot in bed, 1 foot out. All right, not a bad day for a walk, though. If you've been inside the last couple of days, you can definitely get outside today. Here's a look at our radar map this morning. Still have some rain, but mainly east of our viewing area. Things are drying out for southern Wisconsin nicely this morning. 45 here in Madison, 45 in Platteville, and 41 in the Dells. Winds are going to be a factor today, though. If you are headed outside, that north wind will be around 20 miles an hour. Golf courses are open, though. Here's your forecast. Sunshine all day today.
Thank you, Hattie. Stay with us. The last half hour of News 3 Now this morning is after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today. You can garden safer at home with the help of Jung Garden Center. Curbside pickup is now available at all 5 Jung Garden Center locations. Visit jungseed.com to learn how to place your pickup order so you can get your home growing season off to a safe and healthy start.
It's time to gear up for spring with help from your neighbors at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have great deals on everything you need to get your yard looking its best, like large bags of Estate Lawn Fertilizer, just $19.99. Get $100 off this Cub Cadet Hydro Lawn Tractor. Power up yard equipment with this Yellow Jacket extension cord, $34.99. Save $50 on this DeWalt air compressor. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by attorney Andrew Van Arsdale.
For decades, survivors of childhood sexual abuse were told it was too late for them to seek justice. No more. Statute of limitations prohibited organizations like the Catholic and Mormon churches, public and private school systems, Boy Scouts, and other youth organizations from being held accountable. No more. Call us today for a free confidential consultation. We're helping abuse survivors across the country say no more. Let us help you too.
Call 1-800-816-0723.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
Optic White Renewal removes 10 years of yellow stains. That's like all the way back to 2010.
Do the doggy!
Remove 10 years of yellow stains with new Colgate Optic White Renewal.
Duracell Optimum will be right where you need them today, tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, day after day. Packaging designed to make storage easier. Duracell Optimum.
You can garden safer at home with the help of Jung Garden Center. Curbside pickup is now available at all 5 Jung Garden Center locations. Visit jungseed.com to learn how to place your pickup order so you can get your home growing season off to a safe and healthy start.
We're following breaking news overnight as another state moves to limit the spread of the coronavirus.
And the sun is up this morning, and it's going to stick around all day here in southern Wisconsin. All the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Thursday, April 30th. I'm Josh Sprider.
Hope everybody's doing all right. I'm Leah Lynchide. Chris Stanford is off this morning and the rest of the week as he makes the official move from down south up to Madison.
Big move with the wife and kids. That's going to be a long weekend, a much-needed weekend for them.
It is. We're wishing him well. We start this morning with new information just into the newsroom. More than 180 facilities in Wisconsin are now being connected to the coronavirus outbreak.
Half of those are long-term care facilities. Here's what it looks like when the data is broken down. The Journal Sentinel reports 93 of the 187 are long-term care facilities, 48 are in workplaces, 25 in group settings, and 11 are healthcare facilities and 10 in other types of facilities.
One of the facilities is out of the Wisconsin Dells at a dorm for international student workers. Out of the 180 people living there, 12 have tested positive so far. More test results are expected at some point later today.
Breaking overnight, California's governor will order all beaches and state parks to close starting tomorrow to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Governor Gavin Newsom sent a memo to California police chiefs last night to give them time to plan ahead of his expected announcement today. Most state parks there are already closed and many counties have shut down their beaches, but some are still open and are attracting big crowds.
Locally, Wisconsin's governor is slowly allowing businesses to reopen, but a group in Janesville hopes to get state leaders to do more. Forward Janesville acts as the city's Chamber of Commerce. They say their plan, called the Badger Task Force, would create partnerships between businesses, government, and local health officials. The goal here is to give communities more flexibility and power on how and when to reopen.
I don't want it to sound like it's a race, but you know, at some point the gates will open and the economy will start again. And we just want to make sure that we're ready to hit the ground running when that happens.
Organizers are talking to WEDC and hope to be a supplement to the Badger Bounce Back Plan.
With more than 6,600 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Wisconsin, healthcare workers, religious leaders, and other advocacy groups are supporting the Safer at Home extension. They're filing an amicus brief opposing a GOP lawsuit against the order and the governor's Badger Bounce Back Plan. That case is still pending in the Supreme Court this morning. A pediatric infectious disease specialist we spoke with says since COVID is so unpredictable, lifting the order would likely cause the virus to spread again.
Meanwhile, the Evers administration says it will make cuts to state spending to offset the economic impact of the pandemic. In an email to employees, the Department of Administration said there will be a 5% cut to agency budgets. Republican leaders are praising that decision. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says it's a smart and proactive move, but says more will need to be done about what he's calling a looming fiscal crisis. The cut is expected to save $70 million of the projected $2 billion revenue hit.
New this morning, 17% of Lyft's workforce will be out of a job and hundreds more furloughed as that company works to cut costs during the economic downturn. The ride-sharing company will also cut salaries for many of its employees, including a 30% cut for executives and 20% for vice presidents. Uber is reportedly considering staff cuts as well.
Anybody getting unemployment payments should start seeing some extra money coming your way. The Department of Workforce Development is starting to issue what's called federal pandemic compensation payments. That's the temporary emergency increase of $600 a week. This comes as the DWD says nearly 480,000 Wisconsinites have applied for unemployment in the last month and a half. More than $290 million in state unemployment benefits have already been given out in that same time frame. The DWD says it's seen a record number of weekly claims. They total almost 1.2 million since the coronavirus public health emergency was first declared.
6:33 right now. State Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly says he's no longer recusing himself in Wisconsin's voter purge case. Kelly lost his re-election bid for another 10-year term on the court earlier this month. He stayed out of the case while he was a candidate because it could have influenced his own election. Now that it's behind him, he says there's, quote, no ethical bar for his participation. The case deadlocked 3-3 in December on whether to hear the case on an expedited appeal. The case could purge up to 200,000 voters from Wisconsin's voter list.
Joe Biden could announce his cabinet nominations before the election, and some of them could be Republicans. Reuters reports the former vice president made the announcement at a fundraising event. He says he's still in the early stages of the process and hasn't made any decisions yet, but he isn't ruling out reaching across the aisle for some of the top spots. Biden has recently promoted himself as a unifying candidate who can appeal to voters from all parties. Meanwhile, Biden is not commenting on a sexual assault allegation against him by a former staff assistant from his Senate office. Tara Reid says Biden assaulted her when he was a Delaware senator back in 1993. A former neighbor of Reid says she told her about the alleged assault 25 years ago. The Biden campaign has denied the allegation, saying it, quote, absolutely did not happen.
Take a look at this new video just into the newsroom this morning. Some Green Bay residents are still dealing with the aftermath of flooding. You can see the Green Bay Metro Fire Department here using a boat to rescue people along one flooded street. People also reported rising water along the Swamico River. Luckily, no injuries have been reported from that flooding. Hattie's here now. We're learning that strong winds may have played a role in that, but we've also seen some pretty heavy rainfall totals over the eastern part of the state.
We certainly have, and it's been just rain over the same area for about 24 hours. Take a look at this radar estimation of precipitation over the last 48 hours. You can see Door County all the way down to Sheboygan, looking at some very heavy rain. Also some pretty heavy rain in the Green Bay area overnight last night as well. Things here in southern Wisconsin follow that same trend. The rain stayed real close to the lakeshore areas. As you moved west, those amounts did decrease quite a bit. We're talking less than a half an inch of rain over the last 48 hours here in Madison. Contrast that with nearly 4 inches in some spots estimated by our radar map in and around Milwaukee. So the rain continues for the extreme eastern part of the state, although we've seen some encouraging trends as the rain tends to weaken a little bit and shift ever so slowly off to the east. Still some moderate rain, though, just north of Sheboygan, right around the Manitowoc area. For most of our viewing area, though, things have quieted down and skies are quickly clearing. Flood watches expired at 6 o'clock for southeastern Wisconsin, which is good news. Again, we are expecting that rain to end by mid to late morning. What's interesting is that the clouds are quickly clearing out of the area. The back edge of the clouds really just exactly where it's raining. So to the west, skies are clear, and we'll stick with that sunshine for the rest of the day. Temperatures are in the mid-40s in many locations. Watertown's at 44, Janesville's at 46. We're 45 here in Madison. It is a little bit cooler in the Dells, where temperature right around 41 degrees right now. Winds are still from the northwest, and they are strong. You may be hearing them outside your window this morning. They'll stay strong through the day today, but we'll have sunshine. Your future track forecast is pretty quiet for south central and southwestern Wisconsin. By lunchtime today, temperatures already back into the upper 50s. We will be climbing into the 60s today later on this afternoon. Temperatures will then cool down a little bit more overnight. We'll bottom out around 39 degrees. The forecast is shaping up nicely as we head through the rest of the week into the upcoming weekend. We have 70s with dry weather in the area. In fact, 75 on Saturday. It does cool down next week, but let's just keep tunnel vision on the weekend forecast.
I was going to say, I see those 70s and my smile just is automatic this morning.
Don't see anything after that. Don't worry about next week yet.
Thank you, Hattie.
6:37 now. Most UW-Madison employees will have to work some days without pay through October to help the school absorb some of the $100 million loss from the pandemic. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says most workers will have to take between 3 and 6 furlough days between May 15th and October 31st. Blank says she, Provost John Scholes, and the vice chancellors of the school will also voluntarily take a 15% pay cut for the next 6 months, along with those furlough days.
Under normal circumstances, tomorrow would be College Decision Day, the final day for students to commit to a college ahead of the fall semester. But NPR is reporting this morning at least 400 colleges and universities have pushed that date back this year. And as the deadline changes, so are seniors' post-grad plans. A new survey suggests 1 in 6 students who planned on going to a 4-year college full-time will no longer be doing that. Of those students, 40% already made a deposit. Having more time to commit to a school is just one of the ways the coronavirus is impacting college admissions.
Our Christina Laurie is live from home with more this morning. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Leah and Josh. More than half of UW-Madison undergrads are from Wisconsin, but the university is also home to 4,000 international students. Greg Bump from the Chancellor's office says only time will tell how COVID-19 will impact the incoming class of international students this year. He says many international students are making early tuition payments. They're excited about becoming Badgers. However, there are still questions about visas and if and when consulates will reopen. Right now, Bump says the UW is planning for any and all situations come this fall. The coronavirus is also changing the way the university showcases its campus. Since there are no on-site tours, the UW is offering a virtual tour online. It also has a variety of virtual admitted as well as prospective student events. There are online live Q&A sessions every week to allow future Badgers to connect with campus support services and other students to get their questions answered. Josh and Leah, as you said, May 1st is typically the deadline for the incoming class of Badgers to accept or decline their offers, but this year all students will be granted an automatic extension, now have until June 1st.
All right.
Christina Laurie, thank you very much.
Well, we want to bring you a very heartwarming story that's new this half hour.
It's been almost 3 months since people crowded into bars and homes to watch the Super Bowl together before anyone knew what social distancing was.
So a lot has obviously changed, especially for one of the Super Bowl champs. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is a blocker with the Kansas City Chiefs. He also happens to have a doctorate in medicine. With the NFL season in question, the 29-year-old said he knew he wanted to help. So after taking a crash course on the basics to protect himself and others, he's now working at a long-term care facility near his hometown outside of Montreal. Right now, he's in more of a nursing role, helping relieve other workers. He posted these pictures on Instagram and said, "Now more than ever, we need to work as a team and help where help is needed."
I got chills seeing that. That's crazy.
Wow, answering the call.
Everybody is stepping up and taking part on the front lines right now.
Yeah, and I think everyone plays a part in this too, no matter how important your role is. We're all in this together, and we're going to get through this.
Indeed.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more News 3 Now this morning after this.
It's time to freshen up around your yard. This year, don't struggle with bulky bags of mulch. Call JR.
JR's mulch sales, spread it around.
Medical bills. Missed time at work. Life-changing injuries. Household expenses. When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. But we've dedicated our personal injury law firm to help take this crippling burden off your back. Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. During Safer at Home, we've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
In this challenging time, Wisconsin's dairy farmers remain committed to your well-being.
We're still in the barns every day, producing real, nutritious milk for your table, and products like cheese, yogurt, butter, ice cream, and more.
We're all in this together, and our passion for feeding Wisconsin's communities is stronger than ever.
Wearing the Simplicity name is no small thing. In fact, it's a very big thing. And with all of its premium features, so is the Simplicity Regent Lawn Tractor, like rear suspension for a smoother ride, a free-floating mower deck with rear rollers that let you create ballpark-style stripes, and a super dependable Briggs & Stratton V-twin engine. So stop by your neighborhood Simplicity dealer today.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
Download the Channel 3000 app today. News 3 Now.
Protesters ignore state orders to stay at home.
Disappointed and frightened by what the protests would pose in our state.
Providing you with the facts.
We need a decrease in the amount of positive tests as a percent of the total tests for 14 days.
About how the coronavirus outbreak is impacting our community.
A drive-by salute to the workers in Madison.
For the latest information, safety advice, and breaking news, watch News 3 Now, your coronavirus headquarters.
Welcome back, folks. Every day we are sharing our favorite stories of humanity during this pandemic and highlighting the people who are making a difference in our community.
That's right, and today we want to introduce you to a local Madison College employee who is doing something good to help the college's most vulnerable students.
This is Kevin Foley, an administrative manager at the school. In 2 weeks, he plans on doing a 170-mile bike ride across the entire Madison College district, stopping at all 8 campuses. It's all to raise money for emergency funds for Madison College students during the pandemic. He said he's heard from so many students who have been impacted and wanted to do what he could to help.
I'm really proud to be a Madison College employee. When the COVID-19 crisis hit, our college came out right away and they helped. And so I just really felt compelled to do something to help the community and to look back at this time like I did something really worthwhile to help the community.
Kevin hopes to raise $10,000 from the May 15th bike ride. He's partnering with the Madison College Foundation nonprofit, and all of the funds will go directly to Madison College students. 170 miles. I did 20 miles last weekend, and I thought that was a lot.
That's impressive in itself. I'm not much of a biker. Hattie, you're a biker as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but 20, 30 miles, that's about all I care to do in any one day. So kudos to him for doing that long bike ride.
For sure.
Every morning we're featuring some of the people on the front lines keeping us safe, and we want to thank them for their work.
This gentleman right here, we are thanking him today. His name is Brian Steele.
Yeah, he is a firefighter at Station 4, so we want to thank him and for all the other folks that are risking safety to protect ours right now. Still very cool to see how many different people right now are out there every day, no matter what is happening, to keep us all safe.
One of my favorite parts of the morning, just taking a second to thank the folks on the front line. So thank you to that gentleman.
We couldn't do it without him. All right, Hattie's here. We couldn't do it without you and all that sunshine headed our way, Hads.
Oh, and finally a popular person in the newsroom again after some dreary weather here in southern Wisconsin. Take a look behind me. Sun is up. Skies are mostly clear as well. So a pretty nice forecast coming up for today. There is one caveat, though. It's the winds. Northwest winds are still pretty strong this morning, and they are expected to remain strong through the day. We're still seeing wind gusts here in Madison and points to the east in the 25 to 35 mile an hour range, so definitely still a windy start to the day. Sustained wind speeds are going to be right around 20 miles an hour through the morning and afternoon. You can see still pretty windy at 5 p.m. After 5, though, those winds should begin to lighten up for all of southern Wisconsin. So just one more day with the windy conditions. At least we'll have the sunshine today, though, and temperatures will be warmer. Even despite that north wind, we should top out in the low to mid 60s later on this afternoon.
Hattie, thank you very much. 6:47 now, coming up in the morning sprint. We'll have the latest on a possible coronavirus treatment that Dr. Fauci is calling promising.
But first, it is April 30th, and we want to say happy birthday to Nora, Joe, Zoe, and all the other kids turning 3 today. Happy birthday, and thanks for celebrating with us early on News 3 Now this morning.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Landscape design can be overwhelming. Our experienced landscape designers, horticulturists, and arborists work together to make any vision come to life. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Comfortable with the innovative MyRide suspension system and high-back suspension seats. Powerful with commercial-grade engines. Heavy-duty, built to tackle tough terrain while providing Toro's professional quality of cut. Versatile, so you can get more done on or off the mower. Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Count on it.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
We wrote the book on replacement windows here at Mad City Windows. Now take a look at our custom-made Eco Sky windows featuring Sky Mirror technology and layers of low E to give your home an energy upgrade. You know, Mad City, Wisconsin's #1 ranked remodeler. And you can count on us to put a high-performance Energy Star rated window in your home. And you can take advantage of the Factory Direct Window Blowout Sale. Get a house full of windows for $29.95. $29.95. Ask about 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Look at the bonus. Buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed for free. Call during this program and get a free Walmart or Amazon gift card with estimate. Be sure to ask about our virtual online estimates. Call us here in Madison and throughout South Central Wisconsin at 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616. Be sure to ask about Mad City's Do More discount. Get additional savings on a new bath and kitchen upgrades. We're going to put a great product in your home. Now remember, we're going to put a high-performance Energy Star rated window in your home with the extra coatings of low E to give your home an energy upgrade. And now would be a great time to call and save a lot of money during our Factory Direct Window Blowout Sale. Get a house full of windows for $29.95. $29.95. This price won't last long. Go to the phone and call in now. Ask about 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. And look at the bonus. You buy 7 or more premium windows and you get a new patio door installed for free. And if you call during this program, you get a free $100 Walmart gift card or Amazon gift card with your estimate. And be sure to ask about our virtual online estimates only from Mad City Windows.
Landscape design can be overwhelming. Our experienced landscape designers, horticulturists, and arborists work together to make any vision come to life. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
When you think Honda, think Wild Easttown Honda in Madison.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
We start with new information just into the newsroom this morning. More than 180 facilities in Wisconsin are now being connected to coronavirus. Here's what that looks like when the data is broken down. The Journal Sentinel reports 93 of the 187 are long-term care facilities, 48 are workplaces, 25 are group home settings, 11 healthcare facilities, and 10 are other types of buildings. One of those is out of the Wisconsin Dells at a dorm for international student workers. Out of the 180 people living there, 12 have tested positive so far. More test results are expected at some point later today.
Breaking overnight, California's governor will order all beaches and state parks to close starting tomorrow to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Governor Newsom sent a memo to California police chiefs last night to give them time to plan ahead of his expected announcement today. Most state parks are already closed there, and many counties have shut down their beaches, but some of those that are still open are still attracting big crowds.
The FDA plans to announce an emergency use authorization for a possible treatment for coronavirus. A government-funded study found patients who took remdesivir recovered faster than patients who didn't. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says the drug has a significant positive effect in shortening the recovery time for COVID-19. The World Health Organization is not commenting on the treatment yet.
State Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly says he's no longer recusing himself in Wisconsin's voter purge case. Kelly lost his re-election bid for another 10-year term on the court earlier this month. He stayed out of the case while he was a candidate because it could have influenced his own election. Now that it's behind him, he says there's, quote, no ethical bar for his participation.
The Evers administration says it will make cuts to state spending to offset the economic impact of the pandemic. In an email to employees, the Department of Administration said there will be a 5% cut to agency budgets. Republican leaders are praising the decision. The cut is expected to save $70 million of the projected $2 billion revenue hit.
17% of Lyft's workforce will be out of a job and hundreds more furloughed as the company works to cut costs during the economic downturn. The ride-sharing company will also cut salaries for many of its employees, including a 30% cut for executives and 20% for vice presidents. Uber is reportedly considering staff cuts as well.
Anybody getting unemployment payments should start seeing some extra money coming your way. The Department of Workforce Development is starting to issue what's called federal pandemic compensation payments. That's the temporary emergency increase of $600 a week.
I'm following new numbers breaking just into the newsroom moments ago. A new Marist poll finds half of Americans say they've either lost a job or hours at work because of the pandemic. This comes as the U.S. government is expected to release another grim report on the unemployment. The Labor Department will likely report that several million more folks applied for unemployment benefits in the last week alone. More than 26 million have already applied for aid over the past 5 weeks. CBS This Morning will have a special report coming up at 7:30 when that report is released. Right now, most UW-Madison employees will have to work some days without pay through October to help the school absorb some of the $100 million loss they're experiencing because of the coronavirus. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says most workers will have to take between 3 and 6 furlough days between May 15th and October 31st.
Josh, the coronavirus is also impacting college admissions ahead of what's typically decision day for the class of 2024. Prospective students now have an extra month until June 1st to accept or decline their offers to the University of Wisconsin. Right now, there's a national trend of more college students choosing schools closer to home. UW administrators say it's still too early to tell if we're seeing that here, but the school remains committed to enrolling more than 5,000 in-state students every year. The UW-Madison is also home to 4,000 international students. You can find out how COVID-19 will impact that number up on our website, channel3000.com.
Christina, thank you. A rite of passage for many teens will no longer be required in Georgia during the pandemic. A new executive order by the state's governor will make driver's tests optional. A new drivers will need is a parent's approval. All other driving requirements will need to be met, but road tests or computer-based tests won't be required.
New this morning, former Green Bay Packer Brett Favre says he thinks Aaron Rodgers will eventually play for someone else. This after the team traded up to draft Utah State quarterback Jordan Love in the first round. The Hall of Famer said it sends a, quote, disrespectful message. Favre says he spoke with Rodgers after the draft and said Rodgers was surprised by the pick.
It is 6:55. Let's take a closer look at your roads this morning. No real problems to talk about. A couple delays popping up on Park Street and also downtown. But other than that, you shouldn't have any issues. There's your drive times. Everything in the green. If you're heading into downtown this morning, you shouldn't have any issues. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast starts with temperatures in the 40s this morning across southern Wisconsin. It is still windy today. Temperatures will climb to highs in the low to mid 60s later on. We have lots of sunshine today, but again, those strong north winds continue. Here's a peek at the weekend forecast. It is looking very nice. 67 tomorrow and then 70s on Saturday and Sunday. Mainly dry with just slight chances for rain at night.
Hattie, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day.